Hey everyone, my name is REDRUP. This is the It's Not a Phase podcast, and on this episode I'm joined by Harry Bailey and George Milner of the band Death Goals. We talk all about their new EP, Survival is an Act of Defiance, going independent this time around, bringing on guest vocalists, the important messages and context of the EP, why they keep going back to producer Tom Hill, and loads more. Just before we get into it, this is an independent podcast run solely by me, so any help and support really does go a long way. You can hit subscribe or follow wherever you're checking this out, and that way you also don't miss out on anything new that I put out. You can leave a review or a comment, you can go and give the podcast a follow on social media, you can join the mailing list if you'd like email updates, and for those of you out there who want to go one step further, there's a Patreon and there's a web store if you wanted to pick up some merch. To make things super easy, I've shoved links to everything that I've just mentioned in the description of this episode, or you can head to itsnotaphase.co.uk. And now, with all that out of the way, here's my chat with Harry and George of Death Goals. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on this episode of the It's Not a Phase podcast, where I'm joined by Harry and George of Death Goals. How are you both doing today?
Very well.
Good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I do my best to avoid, red hair. I'm very careful in the sun.
I got very cocky at something called I'm slightly paying for it now. But...
Yeah. Again, just being British, isn't it? So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Every now and then we've got a cosplay as baked potatoes. So that's what it is.
Or drumstick lollies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the only shades I have. I have white, pink, and red. I don't tan at all. So. That's basically my range. But yeah, away from British weather, brand new EP for you guys coming out. Survival is an Act of Defiance. That comes out on August 29th. You guys are self-releasing this one.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about getting this particular batch of songs out there into the world?
Really excited. We've sat on it for a while, and we've been working on it for a while. So which is basically two ways of saying we've had it for a while. That's the third way.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to playing. We've been playing Worms for a couple months now live, and sort of getting road testing that. But we're really excited to get these new songs out, play them in front of people. We've had 2 months off, which is the first time we've had time off in a year and a bit. So we kind of got a bit stir crazy. So yeah, getting these songs out. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's been really nice throughout this process to, there's been constantly things that we've been working on in the background and working on kind of how we maximized this EP in the most effective way possible. And I mean, I think the music is amazing. I'm so happy, and I know we both are. And we've really not shown it to that many people, but the people that we have shown it to so far are very much gassed with it. So yeah, it feels good. It feels really good.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, how was that for you guys going back to an EP? I know obviously you did the 2 full-length albums, and you've done a couple of singles and that split with Dreamwell as well since the last full-length. But what was it like for you, a full release coming back to an EP for you guys on this one?
I mean, I love EPs. I'm pro EP over album. Realistically, Death Goals until George joined we were only doing EPs, and I probably would have continued doing that. Because as a body of work, I think I format EPs better in my brain.
Right.
I think you can concisely hit a certain sound harder on an EP, which is kind of what we've done with this. But George is very pro album, so that's why the Horrible and Miserable even happened. Because George was like, "We should do an album." I was like, "I don't want to do it. Do an album." So yeah, I'm really glad to be back. It's nice to be doing things back in a DIY aspect as well, all of the prosthetic, but we've really relished taking back control and having our sort of we're quite keen to have our fingers involved in every aspect. So
yeah,
it's nice to be even outsourcing we're getting the vinyl done and doing pre-orders and George has done so much of the actual business part of it, has taken on that, and that's been a huge relief, because God knows I can't do that. But yeah, it's been great. It's been really nice. We've had a really good team of friends, and sort of involving very talented friends of ours in this process we've been really lucky to sort of take advantage of that. So yeah, it's great to be back on an EP. I'm really happy, and I think it's some of our strongest and definitely our heaviest stuff to date, but like songwriting wise, it's definitely some of our best songwriting. And lyrical front as well. Like I it's some of the proudest Death Goals material. I'm the proudest of this massively.
Yeah,
completely agree.
Was it daunting at all? I guess obviously you've gone from an album with a label like Prosthetics, and then you guys have obviously taken the mantle again of going independent. You know, having to, I guess, do all like the behind the scenes gritty work, like you say, like getting somewhere to press the record, and obviously there's delays in vinyl manufacturing as well, which I guess would impact the time in which you could release the EP. So
yeah, I think that it's almost the thing of like when every challenge has come up, we've found a fun and creative way to kind of circumvent that. And to say that it hasn't been daunting would be a complete lie. But also I think that the excitement of being able to kind of be faced with those daunting challenges it brings a lot of a fresh perspective on what we're doing as a band, and has really helped us to look back on what we've done so far and say, okay, you know, we have all these amazingly talented friends, and between the two of us in the band, you know, we can tick every single box that needs to be done. So why don't we just give it a try? Let's just see what happens. And you know, we could have been sat here having this conversation and saying, yeah, this was a terrible idea, we probably shouldn't have done this. But it's been the complete opposite, and it's been really nice to, like Harry said, to have that control back in our camp. And you know, that's not to say that in the future we wouldn't go back to a label or something like that. But I think for this EP, the context and the importance of this EP to us, it just felt right that it was a real home base thing that we worked on.
yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both, right? Like obviously with a label, they do a lot of that behind the scenes stuff, whereas like you guys have got to do that.
Yeah, they got
exactly.
The money. Yeah, they got the money.
Yeah. So it depends, I guess, what you want out of the release, and it sounds like, you know, with the context of this EP as well.
I mean, also without getting without getting too into the details of it all, we had conversations with Prosthetic, not about the EP, but about what we wanted. We sort of came to a point of being like, we want different things. We want to have this sort of involvement, and they were like, cool. We can't really provide the sort of stuff you need, so go off and do it yourselves. And we're like, cool, we're happy to. Like, we like being, anyone who's worked with us knows we're heavily involved in every aspect. We always have been, and we always will be. Like, George is a brilliant business mind, and I'm a creative mind, so we want to be involved in every aspect. And this music and this band are very precious to us, so we can't help ourselves.
100%. And I think also, you know, there's the fact that there's only two of us brings its own challenges in the first place, but also, you know, the idea of decision making, and especially in those really tedious moments, it's like, well, there's only actually two of us that need to decide. And it's so much easier to have a conversation between two people than having five people and they all want to have their opinions on it. And, you know, it's just made, as Harry said, you know, I love the business side of it. Harry is really into the creative side, and we just use the things that we excel at and just put our heads together, and it's, you know, it works really well. And I think it's made the whole process of this EP and what will come from this EP really rewarding. You know, I mean, we're only at this point of recording, we're only a couple of singles into release, and it feels better, and it feels like a stronger position pre-release than we've ever been in before, 100%. Which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I believe, like you say, you've sat on this for a little while, so I think you've been doing, it was like weekly writing sessions throughout 2024, was kind of like piecing this together. And like I said before, obviously you put out a few singles during that time, like Knife Bouquet and the Dreamworld Split. So were those songs on those releases and those singles from the same sessions? Like how did that kind of all mesh together in terms of how things piece together?
They were from around that time. I think they were written beforehand though. Those were sort of like after Garden, I went into a bit of a writing drought, and those, so Knife Bouquet, Fake Smiles, and Covo were like some of the first songs I wrote sort of in that drought and trying to like push myself and trying to push what the band can do. Fake Smiles being a massive part of that and being like, okay, we're really pushing our sort of musicality and our like songwriting and like what we can do as a band performance wise. But once we like had a few things, I mean, Kill Kindness was the first song that came all together, and I sort of had that one. This is really heavy, but it's almost too heavy for Death Goals, which is a ridiculous thing to kind of say. But like in terms of form, like it felt very like more adjacent to like a pupil slicer or like a really like intense math choreo. It's got loads of changes and segments and stuff, and that didn't really seem like us, but like it stuck with me. And I was like, I don't want to just put this out on like a SoundCloud thing or like a solo thing. So like, let me bring it to George and see what George thinks. And George's like, this is really cool. Let's sort of work with this realm. And then having that as like the baseline meant we could go in so many different directions, and having these like weekly meetups and songwriting sort of sessions, which we've never really had before. Like even on Garden, like that was a lot of like me writing stuff, bringing it to George, learning it, and then sort of working stuff out and writing like lyrics together. But like this was the first time we were like, cool, let's take this song. What have we done today? We've done this like Deftones rip-off song. Okay, we're probably not going to keep that. Let's throw that. Okay, but that bit was cool, so let's keep that and we'll move that into this folder, and like just refining and refining. So like these songs have just come out of like weeks and months of like really cooking down the Death Goals formula. And that's why I think they're so brilliant. Like segments like just like the chorus on like the title track is like a thing George like wrote. We had like a whole different song, and I was like, well, that drum beat is really cool, the rest of it's kind of fine, let me take that. And then like an afternoon I wrote like the whole of that song. I was like, like, that's so cool. Like it's been a real process of just like refining. But these like weekly sessions were amazing. Obviously they can't happen now because I've moved to London and George's moved to Bristol, so it's
not quite as easy now.
Not quite as easy, but they were really useful. It was really, we've made the most of that time. Like we wrote a lot of music in that time, music that we're gonna plan to release later on at some point. Like we've written a lot of stuff in these sessions, and it's easily all fucking wicked.
We've
got a formula now. We have like I think we've really progressed as a band from these like writing sessions.
100%.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that you were in a position where you were like, this isn't mainstream enough to be a Death Goals song.
This mainstream enough to be in our queer screamo band. What the fuck? Like, we're not a Day to Remember. We're not writing like a REDRUP songs or whatever. But like, it is intense. It's like it's way more. It's way more intense than like trying to think of like even the most like intense song on like the last two releases. Like Full Length, this stuff is way more intense. It's way gnarlier. It's way more at your throat. Like it's way more in line with like a Fake Smiles. But like that was very much the door opening moment of like, we can do that, and we can play songs like that. We don't need to maybe be as condescendingly, right, we need to dumb this down because we're not the best guitar player and drummer in the fucking world. Actually, if we do practice, turns out we can. So that's been great. And like, I mean, we've got some tours coming up, and we've got a quite a long practice coming up where I think that's going to be quite a stressful couple of hours of being like, right, how do we play these songs and how do we think them at the same time and all this stuff. Like, I can't wait. Like, it's a challenge of being like, cool. Kill with Kindness. Fucking hell, we've got to do really fast blast beats and really quick chord changes. Let's do it. Like, we're with a far more can-do attitude than we have prior.
Yeah. All whilst doing vocals.
All whilst doing vocals. So I'm talking a lot, I realise. But the on Garden, when we wrote I Wouldn't Be Caught Dead Catching a Bullet for You, or whatever we ended up titling it, we basically wrote that. I went, that's a cool song. We're never going to play that live, though. And like, which is like such a stupid mentality to write a song going, it's a really cool song. We'll never play that live. That's too tricky. And it's not too tricky. We can do it, but it just wasn't fun. Whereas these songs, as soon as we were writing, we're like, oh, I can't wait to play that. That section's going to be great fun. That bit's going to be great fun. Like, it's really cool to be like inspired and excited to like come out of a gap of not playing shows and go, we've got 5 new songs. I cannot wait to put them into the set. All right, what songs do we have to get rid of now to like make sure we can play these? Like, it's really cool to be doing that again. Whereas like even on Horrible, I think we've only played like some of those songs once.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones that fit.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to have a 5-track EP. We go, oh, all of those are going in. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, and you've still got like, because I think the EP is just a little over 10 minutes, so you can shove that in, and you've still got plenty of time for all the other stuff. Yeah,
100%. And it's really cool as well. Yeah, we're not a long set band anyway, but like it's been cool to also in terms of like the set and us thinking about the set list and saying, okay, well, you know, obviously you have a track like Empire where it's a noisy interlude track with a spoken word section over the top, and it's like, well, how do we put that into the set in a way that doesn't just kind of like, oh, that's there and it's whatever, and then it's just as a filler piece. It's like, I mean, I won't give away any of the set because obviously I want people to come to the tour, but the placement of every song from this EP in the set has its importance and has its moment into the progression of the full set. And you know, we are a first and foremost live band, and so it's been really nice to be able to look. It's almost like we were writing the EP in a way that we wanted to be able to translate that live over, whether it was an instrumental noise track or it was a 3.5 minute long song that ends with the most heinous breakdown. It's like they all needed to have a place in the set with all the rest of the songs that we have in our catalog. And I think people are going to be, I mean, we're guests to play the set and play the songs, but I think people are going to be really down with how we're interlacing everything together.
Yeah, that's the great thing about like once you add more music, like obviously different songs from different releases will connect in certain ways that obviously you would never have perceived because at one point that song didn't exist, right? So it's great to like piece it together like a kind of a puzzle in a way.
Oh, 100%. It's the set list sort of gymnastics is great for them. Being like, okay, well that one could like like it's my favorite thing to sort of sit with like our discography and go like, right, well how can we transition from that one to that one, and then we can do a twist into that, and then if we cut this bit and then we like I love doing that. So this set list we've got now is like it's been intricately put together. Fucking slap. It's gonna be so good. If we can pull it off, it's gonna be wicked.
I've got confidence in you.
Thank you. I've got confidence. It's gonna be wicked.
Yeah. Well, you said you know, these songs you were kind of like chopping and changing and fine tuning and refining. So was there any song in particular on this EP that was like the longest to finish up that you can remember? Like was the one that was particularly difficult to get to that finish line?
We spent a lot of time on the interlude. Working out how we wanted that to go, because we didn't want it to just be like, and then there's like, oh, okay, we need to make up some time, throw a fucking interlude on there, whatever. Which is why we tried to make that like as much of a song in itself with like the synth stuff, and like that was a whole new realm of like stuff I've never really messed around with. So I got a little like like analog synth pedal, and I did loads of like chopping and changing and like stretching and like, so that was really fun. But that took a lot of time, just like composing like all the different like screeches and like horrible sounds and like formatting that into something that was like doable. That probably took the longest, I would say. I mean, Kill Will Kindness took forever, but that was basically a pre-written thing at that point.
Right.
Survival took a while, because that was like 4 different songs for ages, and then working out how do we end it? Like, what's the best way? Like, we really tried to make like every breakdown hit, but not feel like it was just thrown in there to feel like, well, we need to have a breakdown on this song. We try to make each one different. Like we like honestly and ah'd over every aspect of every song, being like, is that blast beat too long? Is that hi-hat section a bit boring? How do we jazz that up? What can we add here? Like, and then it was recording it as well. Like Tom, the producer, who we've worked on like all the albums, was so good at being like, okay, well that is like too long, so let's cut that section in half, change where you're playing that cymbal so it just passes up, let's add a piano on that end bit, like just like textures, and like Tom is a real secret weapon for us, and like making songs really stand out. That's a really long-winded option on the basis saying.
Yeah, I guess it's it's that difficult question, isn't it? Like, when is a song done? How do you know when a song is done? How do you know when an EP is done? How do you know when an album's done? Like, at what? It's so hard to kind of like pinpoint when that is,
I
because
mean,
obviously,
I'm a George knows I'm a bastard for that. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be editing, re-editing songs and lyrics until like basically we record. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
this, to be fair, this was one of the rare times where we went into it being like, this is solidly locked in. We're not tweaking too much stuff. Although, like, I found the video from the first practice we did of Worms, where it's like a completely different song.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to be like, the whole outro like bit would like the George with that like drum break, it just isn't there, and it's just like a really slow like beat down. I'm so glad like we realized that.
Yeah.
And, like, we changed that. Like, the amount of time we put into this is just proof diligence that we just need to invest time and like not be worried about being like, we need to get this stuff done, we need to just get this stuff done. Like, I think having so few songs has meant we've had that ability to focus more. So once again,
and
EP supremacy.
Well, I was going to say, I think that also the fact that it's an EP, and as we discussed before, it's our first independent venture in a while. I think once we've removed the limitation of like, oh, we don't actually have to have a deadline on this, it kind of dawned on us after a while that, okay, we need to set one for ourselves then. Rather than like we've normally done, like taking it pretty much up to the studio and having, I mean, there's the title track of Horrible Miserable was, I mean, that was written a few days before I think went to the studio in the end. It was
the
one of the
lyrics
songs
were basically written the day before.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't shown you. Exit Wounds was written the week before we went and rehearsed.
Wow. Okay.
No. Death Goals in Cursive.
Death Goals in Cursive.
Death Goals in Cursive. I basically went, this song is terrible. It was like a really bad Death Heaven rip. It was awful. I was like, let me just cook. And in 3 days beforehand. So in fact, the recording session was the practice of that song.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, I made the song really easy. It's not complicated. You've just two drum beats to do. You're so fine. But the aim is I stop doing that and we spend more time in the writing. Really like locked down, which we have done now for foreseeable current future bits. We've got stuff pretty much locked down.
Right. Yep. So you prefer now having to take time on something as opposed to what it sounds like working under pressure?
It turns out not rushing a project yields better results.
Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought
it? I love rushing. I love speeding through stuff. It's a bad habit of mine.
Well, you can tell by the music you like rushing through stuff, like how fast you guys play.
Well, exactly. The amount of times we're playing a set and I'm going, you have to speed up. You have to speed up.
Quicker.
I literally cannot. I'm fucked, like, please. The 20 BPM conversion. Do you know how much faster 20 BPM is? I'm like, no.
Well, the quicker you play, the more songs you can shove in because you'll have more time. So.
Dude, we played in a power violence band where that was literally my favorite game to play. I was the drummer, and I used to just be like, right. Drag through every song. We only had like 10 songs, but fitting 10 songs in 10 minutes was like my pride and joy. Awesome. It was so funny.
Achievement unlocked,
truly. Speed running power violence.
Well, you mentioned before, going to Tom Hill again to record this EP, and you worked with him on your 2 albums as well. So I imagine the fact that you keep going back to him, you must have like such a great working relationship by this point.
100%. He's the best. He's an unbelievable mix and sound creator, but he's also just a brilliant producer. Like he's really good. He's good at playing to us and being like, you can do better than that. Come on. And then when we start being shit, he's like, right, stop fucking around. Let's get this done. Like, he's really good at reading us, and really he takes as much care in it as we do, which he's brilliant. Like I cannot recommend Tom enough. anyone on the one. He's the best.
Yeah, and I think also with Tom, like we between the two of us, we have a very different style, I suppose, of being in the studio. I personally, as soon as I step into a studio, my brain is like, right, I'm gonna fuck everything up, and this is gonna go terribly. And Tom is really good at understanding that, and speaking on, and there's been times with both of us where we've been like, we're just not getting these takes. We just don't know what we're doing, and Tom is really good at processing that and knowing that it's either the idea needs to change, or he knows that it's going to come out of us eventually, and we just have to keep chipping away at it. And I absolutely love working with him, and I can almost guarantee that we will continue to work with him for a long time moving forward. He's just the absolute best.
He really was in this as well. He really was the third man. I mean, he literally was the third man in the room. But like,
yeah.
he had a lot of says on a lot of stuff where we couldn't agree on something. He went, Harry is right on this, or George has got a better idea there. Let's do that. Or like looking at like the kick pattern isn't right. What are you doing? And really focusing on something. You need to play that guitar bit the same each time. Stop, just change it. Like he's great. He's so good, and he's made us once again just sound like an actual band.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's a miracle. And he's great at playing percussion. He's really good at playing tambourines, great at playing bass, it turns out. Like, I can't play a bass part. He just like Terminator style scans. He goes, I can probably do that. That's great.
So he sounds like the secret like third member and a bit of a mediator as well for you guys.
He is massively.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, even when we were in the writing process for this EP, he drove down to mine, and we literally just had like a 2-3 hours in my old flat, just sitting in Logic and him going, okay, I'm not sure about that. Let's try and change that. And then that was a few weeks before we went into the studio. It's like a really mini version of pre-production, I suppose. And then when we went into the studio, it was like, he was so tuned into the suggestions that he had made and was able to pick up on that fact. We hadn't sent him any of the amended music, but he'd remembered all of the things that he thought. And it was like, that's a real level of dedication to your craft that I think in this band we really respect, because we are so dedicated to what we do, and we make it a real point that we only work with people who are going to put 110% into it, because it's the same as us.
Yeah, absolutely. You want people involved in this project that are, I mean, no one will give a shit about your band as much as you guys will, because you're in the band, right? But you want the next best thing. And the more you work with him, it sounds like the better it's going to be, because he knows how you guys work. He knows like what you want Death Goals to be. So he can obviously just bounce off of that when you go in the studio with him.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also quite nice that, he's not a predominantly heavy music only producer, and I think it's really nice to be able to have those moments where he will hear an element of a guitar tone that's being used and understand that actually it's way more about the feeling and emotion that guitar tone is pushing, because it resonates with another genre of music that he works with at the same time. And I think that really has helped us to kind of, on this EP and previous releases, it's really helped us to kind of break out of the idea that we have to fit into a certain mold and have to fit into a certain thing because of the band we are, or the peers that we have within the scene. And it's just helped us to create a Death Goals sound and a Death Goals vibe that is so communicated through the music. It's still aggressive, but it's got a nice amount of polish on it that it's, people aren't like, fucking hell, was this recorded on an iPhone? It's sick. It's really sick.
He's great.
I mean, some people like that. Some people
love that. Yeah. And it has its place. Like, I think he's also, he enables us to push into grottier elements and then pull us back when we go too far. So like we use loads of like HM2 stuff that we've never used before, because I was like, I want to do like nails guitar tones. He's like, okay, cool. We'll do a couple tracks of that, and then I can pull that back when we need to. We'll use this actually nice amp, and we'll use these things. Like, he's willing to let us experiment and go into further fields that we probably wouldn't like just go to if we were just going to do like a standard hardcore thing. Like, really champions and enables us to sort of be creative and explore things. If we want to try this vocal thing, we want to try this, like he's always down for us to try stuff. As a good producer should be.
That's what you want from a producer, right? Like,
yeah.
I imagine there's some out there that will just like, all they want to do is like, okay, come in, I'll press record, we'll put it together, the end. Where it sounds like he isn't like invested in getting the best quality product out of the songs you bring to the table.
From conversations we've had with him about other projects he's worked on as well, I think like that he is like, it's my name on it as well. Like, I want it to be good because then it makes me look good as well as making you look good. So I'm invested in this. This is for all of us, not just the band, not just for me. So, he's great. Fucking
no brainer. No brainer.
This is just Sprite.
Well, along with obviously Tom being involved in the project, as well as your like previous albums, you got a bunch of guest vocalists on this. So you've got Jenna from Hers Collective, you've got Harry from Burner, you've got Ewan from Canehurst, and you've got Lotta from Victim Unit. All kind of members from the queercore community as well, which is not an accident, very intentional with the context of this EP. How did their involvement in this project come about? Like, how did they get involved?
Well, we've never done like, apart from the Knife Bouquet single with Matt, we've never done features. We've had like wants to. Usually they've like fallen through, or like we haven't been able to make it work or whatever, which is fine. It's difficult to sort of sort out. But as we were writing this, we were writing lyrics, and there were sections where we were just like, man, it'd be really cool if we had someone who could do this over it, or we had someone who could do a different inflection or like a different perspective or whatever. Like, it's nice having two vocalists, you get to do that, but like having another voice or whatever. And so I think Harry was the first person we thought of being like, well, we've got this like converged black metal fucking D-beat bit. Harry's like the perfect person to throw on this and get to some real like death metal gnarly stuff. Let's just ask. And he was super down to it. Wow, wicked. Why don't we try and make this like EP, which is about the queer community and about us, be with us and have this community spirit. So let's get everyone on it. So like reaching out to our friends and like, I mean, Jenna being like an inspiration and like a hero of ours was like such an awesome one. We thought Jenna would be like too busy because her always on tour, but like she made the time and like really wanted to be a part of it, and that was like so cool to us. And like being able to get like Ewan from Canehurst, who's such a brilliant poet and writer and a real like intellectual, for lack of a better word. Like, we gave them the really difficult task of being like, here's this noise track, here is the title of it, here's what the EP is about. Could you write us essentially a monologue like about it? And Ewan sent back this just like beautifully eloquent monologue, and so, like it just sounds so cool. And like we're really lucky to have so many talented friends who we got to have on, and we got loads of like our friends on for like guest vocals and like gang vocals on like Even Worm Can Turn. So like it was just really cool to be able to do that, and I'm very pro guest vocals. We both are. Like we've got a lot of
massively
songs like that we love that have them. We're keen to do more of them in the future, but desperately like I want to do like a split where we do the whole like both, like the La Dispute, Touche Amore sort of gimmick. Both vocalists are on each other's songs, and like I love that sort of stuff. So more guest features, the better.
I love guest features. Like even if you look at the last Hers Collective album, like almost every song has like
their whole thing is guest features. Like so cool. Like I just love it. I think it's so cool, and like ones which you don't expect as well. Like the Portrayal of Guilt one, where once again Jeremy from Touche's on it. It's like it's such a weird pairing of voices, but like it really works. Like I think there's fun to have. Like I've listened to a lot of hardcore ones where there's like 4 additional vocalists on it. Like, well, this could all be one person. Like that's cool, but like it all blurs into one. But having people with such distinct voices, it's I think it's so cool. Like it's just another palette. It's another crayon to use on like the canvas of a song. I think it's so fucking cool. If
Yeah.
you want
Yeah.
to do guesses on a Death Goal song, hit us up. I
Yeah.
Yeah, it just brings a different flavor, doesn't it? Like, obviously, it's great having like your friends on as like guest vocalists. But if they have, like you said, a distinct voice that's very different to yours, so you can tell it's like someone else, it just brings a
Yeah.
new kind of like, yeah, it kind of elevates the song, in my opinion.
Yeah, like just heightens a section. Like,
Yeah.
you can really highlight just like a chorus or whatever. We're like, oh well, it's instead of doing you've done 2 choruses with us on it, why don't do the 3rd chorus with this? And you change the lyrics, then it's a whole new thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just cool. It's cool to highlight music like that.
Yeah.
I think especially in I mean I love all the vocal features, but especially in Chotchki where there's such difference between the fact that it's Harry, me, and Jenna, and I mean even when you listen to Death Goals, you know which section is Harry, you know which section is me, because we have such vastly different voices. So adding another amazingly strong voice in there was like, there's just voices everywhere. There's voices everywhere, and they and they all work so perfectly well. And then I think it really, especially with Chotchki and the themes of the track, it really came through that we wanted it to feel like a lot of people rebelling and having their voice and being able to be given a platform for that. It's just awesome. It's so awesome.
So did each of those guests then write their own bits, or did you?
No, we wrote it all.
Wrote it, right?
We just thought for ease of time, just send them, write the lyrics, because then you could also write stuff in like their voice.
Yeah.
Not being like, well, this would sound really cool if like Jenna said it or whatever, but like that's a cool line if they were to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just cool, and like I love it. I think they sound really cool. Like the lot of one is so gnarly. Like the Harry one gets me every time. When we got the first mixes of that bit through, I just kept repeating that bit, being like, "That's so cool!" And Harry did so many like extra little like demonic like. I can't do the sounds. Can't make them sound lame, but like just so much cool additional stuff. Like we were really lucky that like everyone did like. Here's like not just one take. I recorded it on my iPhone. Everyone did like a bunch of takes. Here's different versions. Here's different inflections. Different ways of doing this bit. Like everyone was like as involved and as like engaged with it as we were. Like there wasn't too much coaching of like the part doesn't sound very good. I need it to be exactly like this. Like really bad vocal demos of like rhythm and like maybe like the way we want it delivered. But like with the rest of it, we were like, whatever like pitch or like additional stuff you want to do, go crazy. And they just delivered. Like shout out to talented friends.
Yeah, for real.
So you kind of set like the blueprint of where this is where the lyrics are going to go. This is kind of like the structure. You can kind of tweak it a little bit depending on what you want. And then I guess like this is the thing, like you knew that the tracks are going to come back great because you chose them for a reason. But you didn't know exactly how good it was going to sound or exactly how it would actually sound. So when it comes through, that's kind of like a surprise to you, right?
Oh, it was awesome. It was we were like kids at Christmas.
Yeah.
But like, George, I've got to send it over. I've got to send it. Yeah. Even over the like bad Logic demo, it doesn't sound great. It isn't mixed. You're like, oh, but this is going to sound so good once we've got real instruments on it, and like, it was just cool and cool once again to be able to send that to Tom and be like, here's this, here's that. You know exactly what you're going to get. Like, you can prep for that. You have like a different way of mixing their vocals as well. Like, it's just an additional job of giving him like 4 other. Like to edit together and stuff. So once again, Tom Hill's a G, our friends are G. We love them. Love them all.
Yeah.
Plenty of G's on the EP.
Huge amount of G's. You wouldn't believe.
Well, there's the messages on this EP are obviously, quite stark and bleak about kind of like the adversity towards like the queer community and minorities in general, I guess, that could apply to them. It feels like over the past few years, like the world is becoming more and more of a dumpster fire, really. With that being said, like I imagine approaching this EP from a lyrical standpoint was kind of an important one because you want to get across the right amount of anger, but also get the right messaging across.
Yeah.
Like using the right words for what you want to portray in these songs. What was that kind of like? Like, how did you focus on those lyrics? Like, was that a really important part of this EP?
Massively. I mean, first and foremost, we knew we didn't want to go into it writing lyrics that were like Cannibal Corpse. We didn't want to write like, oh, if you hate trans people, we're gonna smear blood on the walls, blah 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 blah. Because that is that you fall into the trap that the picture that the right wing fuckwits are painting, which is that trans people are violent and queer people are violent and they're out to eat kids and whatever. Like, we're not going to eat kids. I'm not a violent person. Most queer people you've met are the least violent. Like, we just don't want to be murdered in streets. We just don't want to be called out on trains because we dressed how we want to dress and act we want to be. It's very basic human decency that we're not being given. And so that was the main focus of not being like too overtly violent in our language, but also not shying away from the truth of the matter and not shying away from the realities of it, and sort of trying to spread the range of what we were talking about. It wasn't just like, someone yelled at me on the train and now I feel sad. We're like, well, okay, Kill With Kindness is looking at the idea of religion being weaponized as it has always been weaponized and being turned against queer people. Classic. Chotchki is about chasers and the trans community constantly being fetishized and queer people being fetishized. What track is after that? That's then so Empire is then like the sort of the speech, the big like, we will not be thrown away speech. Perfect. Worms is about the infighting within the queer community of cis white groups and like TERFs and like the infighting within our community, which is just ridiculous. We should be together, not being a separated, chaotic group. We don't need that. And then Survival being this final big fuck you, we're not going to go quietly. Survival as an act of defiance. We are here. We're never going to be going anywhere, sort of thing. So it's massively important, basically. Like, a real clear image of what we were writing lyrics about, and like expanding that scope.
Yeah, I mean, we were so meticulous about the lyrics. I think almost the lyrics took nearly as long as writing all of the music. And we'd have sessions at my house where, it's the two of us sat there with a Google Doc in front of us going, right, let's get all of these things down and then let's pick apart certain words and let's find, and there's, for example, with Chotchki, like the terminology is used. There's certain aspects and certain lines where it's like, okay, we're saying it exactly how it is, but then there's other lines where we're using metaphors and we're trying to create a more of a story rather than, like Harry said, just saying, shit is bad, people are hurting us. It's like, no, we want to be clever about this and we want to approach this in a way that has as much emphasis while still remaining, I think that throughout Death Goals lyrics has been such a poignant thing, and between myself and Harry, I think that we wrote some really good, strong lyrics, and that really needed to remain, now more than ever with this release, because we were going into it with such an important theme. It's a life and it's an experience that we live, but it's also so easy to say the wrong thing, and it's so easy to not articulate what you're trying to articulate in a way that is actually going to be impactful for a large amount of people. The idea of Survivors and Acts of Defiance is wanting our community to band together and really show all these right-wing bullshit fascists that the community is so incredibly strong and we are not going anywhere and we will do whatever it takes to survive, and you will not break us down with that. And how we conveyed that message was, I think, just as important as all of the riffs and all the breakdowns and everything.
Because I think that's the difficult balance, right? Like you don't want to be, as you mentioned, like Cannibal Corpse, because then it comes across as like, kind of leaning into their shitty kind of
Yeah.
viewpoints, and also like talking about like, I don't know, cutting someone up or something can come across a bit like a caricature, like a bit of a comedy kind of thing. But then you don't want to be overly metaphoric, because then like, are you even getting the message? Like, are you
Yeah,
even
Fine line
understanding?
between doing like Have Heart lyrics and then Cannibal Corpse, and we
Yeah.
were walking. Like I found writing the lyrics for Worm Can Turn really difficult, because in the beginning of writing a song, I was trying to do this super posy hardcore. We're all here together and no one's left behind sort of thing. I was like, this isn't us.
Yeah,
B, I don't know how to write in that voice, and B, C even I don't know how to spell, so I don't know how words work. So it's difficult. It's difficult to when tackling very complicated issues like this. It is hard not to like put your foot in it, and it is hard to not come across as corny or go about it in the wrong way. So I think we would try to be as articulate and artistic as possible. Something that we'd already sort of had experience doing with Fake Smiles and Nervous Laughter, talking about the genocide in Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is once again a very difficult thing for me to write about. I don't want to come across like I'm cashing in and it's like a cheesy like 80s punk thing. I really don't want to do that. I want this to feel sincere and these lyrics to work. Like, because if we are singing it and it feels cheesy to us, it will read as cheesy to other people.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're about. We're about authenticity, and we're about being ourselves and being our having our opinions felt and be true. So yeah, I think these are some of our best lyrics by a fucking mile.
Yeah.
100%. Like it's you mentioned it earlier, but it's like easily your angriest work as well. And I'm sure I doubt like any far right wingers will listen to it, but I'm sure if they did, they'd probably call you woke, which means you've won. So
yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
I hope they do. I hope they do. I look forward to finding those reviews and comments.
Call some like woke goals or
going
something
to get
like
it,
that.
and we'll have a fun time reading Lamb Goat fucking comments.
Yeah.
I'll have a field day with it.
I think that's the best way to go about it. Like you're always going to have the knuckle dragging like dickheads. Yeah. Unfortunately, you won't be able to get away from that. Especially now, it just seems like, I don't know why, but it just seems like even like normal like mainstream media is putting those kind of backwards viewpoints into more mainstream platforms. Like platforming this is like a normal
Well,
normal
everyone's
viewpoint.
in each other's pockets, and everyone's trying to feed someone else. I mean, the worst case of it this week, they're arresting pensioners for being opposed to genocide. Like,
for sitting down and just holding a sign.
It's not an original thought, but like the UK government are fucking cunts. It's just proven every day, and it continues to be proven every day. So it's a great time. It's a great time to release music.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Really cool. Well, if people listening to the EP were to only take one thing away from it, what would you want that thing to be? What's like do you think the prominent message?
I mean, to be honest, solidarity, community, compassion is, at the end of the day, this is an EP about our perspective and how we want things to change and how we want people to look at themselves and say, what am I doing? What am I doing the things that are actually positive for minority groups? And that's not just, this isn't an EP of we're going after straight white people. It's like, no, our community needs to have a look at itself and make sure that it's doing the most that it possibly can do. And, whether that's supporting from a political perspective or queer artists doing their bit to try and also use the platform that they've got. At the end of the day, we're very grateful as a band that we have been able to play a lot of the festivals and a lot of the shows and a lot of the tours that we've done. but we always use every single room and every single stage as an opportunity to talk about how we feel, and we talk about our queerness, and we talk about Palestine. We reference everything that is shit in the world. We try and make a point of on stage, because at the end of the day, we know a lot of people are not doing it. And this EP, if anyone's going to take anything away from it, is use your platform and talk to people, band together.
I back that 100%. Yeah. Well, looking to the future, obviously the EP comes out the day after this episode comes out. If you listen to it after that, everyone go listen to the EP. But you guys have got a UK tour coming up with Hayes Collective. How are you feeling about that?
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. We got to play with them on this tour we just did. Well, we did it earlier this year with Stormo in Berlin, and it was so awesome to finally meet them. I've been like such a fan of Hayes Collective for years. So get to share space with Scott and Jenna was so cool. And then oh my god, sorry. To be able to like do a full tour with them is gonna be so cool. To be able to like tour the UK again as well. It feels like it's been a while. We did it like last year at the same time. So it's gonna be nice to be going back out, more places. We're getting to play like Core Fest and Supersonic. So like we're getting to do some really cool festivals along the way. And yeah, I just can't wait. It's gonna be such an amazing tour with some really gorgeous people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be really good fun.
And it's small capacity rooms, which is gonna be an absolute blast with us and hers. I think especially, I think about like the Black Heart show in London, where it's like that room is going to be so loud and so hot, and people are going to kick off. And we've done so many shows at Black Heart before. It's kind of a home away from home for us. So being able to take this have actually the first time we perform in London with this EP, and everything that we're bringing into these new live shows, and have it be in a place that is so important to us as a band is just so awesome.
Yeah. And then you've got Conjure as well in November, which is a bit of a heavier band. Like
I
wonder what's that like.
Yeah. I've been such a fan of Conjurer from like the first EP. They played in our hometown on that first EP, and I remember seeing them just be like, this is like the most professional sounding band I've like ever heard in like our shitty hometown venue. Like, they sound like Metallica. They sound like an actual real band. And just following them every time I could. Like we got to play with them at No Play, and I was just fangirling the whole time. Like they're so fucking good.
You were jumping off shit the whole time.
I was jumping off shit, and I will be doing the exact same at every venue I can. I was really hammered at that show. I would probably but I will be going equally as hard. But they're great. I was really excited to play with Pine again. We played with them. Weirdly, the last time we played at the Underworld with Heck was also with Pine. So it was really nice to play with them again. And also just like it's a really cool mixed bill. Having us like screamo, metalcore, whatever you want to call us. Group. Then like a post-metal, post-rock and then like sludgy black metal from Conjurer. Like that's a dream. It's gonna be so good. And just like they're all just lovely people as well. Like I cannot wait for that tour. That's been an awesome way to end the year. As well as like playing with City of Caterpillar and like
that'd be sick.
Like that'd be nuts. Like we're steadily with that page 99. We're steadily collecting 90s screamo royalty. So, like, the plan is Orchid and Jerome's Dreamer next year, and then I can pretty happy.
Sorted. Awesome, guys. Well, what else is planned for? Well, I guess that's your 2025. But is anything planned for 2026 that you can talk about yet, or?
Nothing we can talk about yet.
Right.
The plan is to take our foot off the gas a little bit in terms of touring. We're hoping to hit some festivals and do a few more festivals. We've got some cool stuff in the works. We've got some collaborative bits and bobs in the way.
Yeah, it's a music focused year, I guess we could call it. I mean, as Harry said at the beginning of this, we've just had 2 months off, and that is the longest amount of time off we've had I mean, realistically, probably since we dropped Garden, and that's absurd.
Long
But
time.
we've come from, this for both of us is our first touring band. We hit Europe for the first time last year, and it was the first time we'd ever gone and played shows in Europe. And since then, I think we've done three European tours, and we've been out for festivals maybe 5 or 6 times, and so it's we definitely, I think, need some time to just go, right, we're gonna chill, we're gonna work on some music, things will happen. There's no way between the two of us, we love playing live too much to to take any
we're gonna
time off.
we're gonna like chill out, and then we'll book like 4 tours and be like,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there might be a really great offer that comes through that you just can't say no to anyway. So
right.
This
I hear
is the
Metallica
thing.
needs support.
Yeah, I've heard they do. Yeah,
I've heard they need like 2 more supports for those London days. 3.
Maybe even like MyChem next year.
MyChem.
That'd be nice.
Imagine the state of it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
only if I could be one of the people who gets blown up during the like shooting thing. I want to be that person.
I managed to get MyChem tickets this morning, and
congrats.
Well, congrats to the tickets, not so much congrats to the bank account. Let's just put it that way. Yeah,
I did not bother.
I didn't bother.
No,
I saw them on the like last tour they did, and it was so good. I was like, and I'd never seen them before, so I was like, that's me one and done. That was so good. I don't need to see them again, and I'm sure Wembley will be amazing, but hardcore's ruined big concerts for me, man. I love watching 8 bands for £10. What can I say?
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to me. I've had you for about an hour now, so I'll let you go. Any final words before I let you enjoy the rest of the day?
Be kind to each other and look after each other, and fascists can fuck off and die.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Wise words, guys. Thanks again. I'll let you go, and hopefully I'll catch you guys at the Manchester date on the Hearst tour.
Hell yeah.
100%.
I can't wait.
100%.
Yeah, I'll go over and say hi, and thanks again. Speak to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in to It's Not a Phase. If you enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Leave a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast on social media, and maybe even join the Patreon or grab some merch from the store. You can find everything that you need at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. Thanks again. Hopefully catch you on the next one. And remember, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.